What's up, guys? Here I have a 1972 Monte Carlo and more junk in the back. I got a 67 Camaro convertible and all that crap. But anyway, so I have a 1972 Monte Carlo. It is here to get some stuff done. It's a friend of a friend. I'm kind of doing him a favor. He got so far and kind of got stuck. He knows that I build my own stuff and likes my work, so he asked me if I could help him out. So yeah, I said, bring it on by, bring it by the garage. I'll take care of it for you. He had a friend that was helping him out. Basically gave him a lot of pointers on how to get it cut apart without destroying anything. He did really good, I'm not gonna lie. For somebody that's never done anything like this before, he did a really good job. But yeah, he got this far and the guy that was helping him got a little too busy, so he was, the project kind of fell behind a little bit, and the guy wants to speed it up and get things done. So it is here for outer wheel houses, trunk floor drop-offs. It's getting quarter panels, obviously. The deck filler needs to be done, and it's also getting the package tray here. And you can see it's already out. He took it out. He destroyed a couple spots over there, so I got to fix that. Some tears. There's some rot here I got to take care of as well, but yeah, it's no big deal. It's typical stuff for a vinyl top car. Anyway, so the package tray is already out, and these pieces he thought were savable, I guess. They're not. So I had him order those pieces, and they're on their way. This one's totally gone. He wanted me to make one. I said, nah, not happening. Those are on the way. That's just the list of parts that need to be done to this thing. It's really not a huge job. So the parts he brought me are Auto Metal Direct. I use Auto Metal Direct frequently. They're great parts. That's not a plug. I'm not getting paid to say that. I just really like their parts. All the parts are AMD actually for this job anyway. I use a lot of Dynacorn stuff. Dynacorn's great. I love Dynacorn. This guy in particular wanted to use AMD panels, so that's what he purchased. But I'm not even sure honestly if Dynacorn makes Monte Carlo stuff. I haven't really looked into that, to be honest with you. This is, I think, the first Monte Carlo that I've done actually. So. Alright guys, I'm not exactly the smartest when it comes to technology. I made a big boo-boo and ruined a whole lot of footage because my microphone was not turned on. Yeah, so I get to explain what I'm doing here. So the outer wheelhouse gets sandwiched between the structure and the inner wheelhouse. So here I'm drilling out the structure, or the spot welds in the structure rather, and then you separate it once you get the hole drilled out far enough, usually 5/16 or 8mm, which is where you want to go. Then once you get the wheelhouse slid up in between the structure, you want to grab your vice grips and you want to clamp it down as tight as you can to the rocker because it's very important for fitting. Then you pretty much just slide it up until it stops. Alright, next up is drilling out the spot welds to the trunk floor drop-off. You don't want to drill all the way through because you want to save the lip to the trunk floor. Once you get that out of there, you slide the new one up into place and screw that tight. Then you can throw the quarter on and get that fit. Get it all clamped up tight, and then you can decide where you want to drill your holes for welding later on. So now that you have everything marked out, you can pull it all back apart and start punching your holes. If you don't have this fancy tool that I have, it's called a hole punch tool, and you can pick one up off of Amazon for about $70 to $80. They're really not that expensive, but it definitely makes your life that much easier and the job a whole lot faster. If you do pick one up, I suggest grabbing the one that's got the 8mm or 5/16 size hole that it punches. Mainly for welding penetration purposes. The smaller one, you can fill in the hole before it actually penetrates. So I would strongly suggest getting the 8mm hole punch tool. And it pretty much does 90% of the job. You still have to drill some of the holes out, like in the door jamb and a small spot on the drop off you'll see in a few seconds. But for the majority of the job, you can use this tool and it gets it done so much faster. So even if you're doing one car, I highly suggest investing in this tool. It'll make your life so much easier, I promise. Alright, so as you can see, we got the wheelhouse in place and we got the drop off fit. It's all in the right spot and everything's been ground down and sprayed with weld through primer in the correct areas. The purpose of the weld through is to make sure it doesn't rust between the seams. So you don't want to have it just bare metal, you want to make sure that there's weld through primer in there. Some people use it, some people don't. I prefer to use it, that's just my methods. Alright, so now that you have everything else back in place and screwed tight, you just want to make sure that everything's in the right spot by throwing the quarter panel back on. Once you have your holes punched, there's these half holes here in the roof channel. They're going to fight you putting the quarter back on a little bit. They typically get hung up, like as you can see right there. But anyway, once it's in there in that roof channel, it should just kind of fall into place and click back into where it should be, as long as everything underneath is where it should be. After that point, you typically would just start welding the from the inside of the car. You would weld the inner wheelhouse to the structure / outer wheelhouse and sandwich all that stuff together before pulling the quarter off, so that you just have extra strength there and make sure nothing moves. But I still have so much to fit at this point because the guy cut both sides off, so there's no welding getting done yet. I'm just going to fit everything and then we'll deal with welding later. All right, now we got the quarter panel on, and I'll show you some gaps here. Quarter panel fit really nice. Got a little bit of an issue up here I got to adjust. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. Got to cut it back and make it the right line that it's supposed to be. But as you can see, nice clean line. Clean line all the way down the rocker, all the way up the door. No filler needed. All fits really well. The only thing I got to do is, like I said, give it a little slice here, tap it back, and make that fit right. Fits up in the channel real good, follows the roof line real nice. All this fits really good. All up in the roof line, back window area. Deck filler needs a little bit of work. There's no package tray in here, so it's not really sitting right anyway, but this is a little too wide here, so that's got to be trimmed. And then I might need to cut into here and kind of relax it to kind of pull it back, because as you can see, the way it sits, we're a little far ahead there. Even if we pulled that ahead where the other side should be, we're still way ahead. So we're gonna have to notch the quarter panel here a little bit, sorry, notch it a little bit there to get that part of it to slide back, and then it'll sit right. So once we notch that, it'll be fine. And then the quarter extension, it fits great. I mean, usually you don't have it fitting that nice on the first shot. I mean, I literally just put it in there and put a nut on it, and that's that. Like, it never fits that well first shot. These AMD panels, man, they know what they're doing. They definitely got it figured out for sure. So, like I said, there's one side fit. I'm going to get going on the other side. And there you have it. I'm pretty happy with how this stuff is fitting right now. This is pretty much just a rough fit, honestly. As you can see, the garage is still a mess. I just got everything on there and put a piece of tape to hold my lines and everything. I took the latch out so that I could get everything adjusted right in the trunk. I didn't want the latch fighting me. But as you can see, left side's all fit. I got the wheelhouse and drop off all tucked in there. It's all nice and fits real good. I don't know if I showed you the door gap or not, but there's a door gap. Real nice door gap there. Follows the roof line nice. Just looks really good. So anyway, guys, that's a wrap. I'm gonna get out of here because it's getting hot. But like I said, this is how you fit the rear end of a 1972 Monte Carlo. Stay tuned for the next episode where I start welding stuff together. Thanks, guys.